Mimi nauliza viongozi wetu wa kanisa, tafadhali don't request us to sanction blackmail and impunity, because what Raila Odinga is doing is blackmailing us into talks. How can you ask us to fall into that trap of blackmail, of threats and intimidation? We ask our spiritual leaders to do the right thing. Call Raila Odinga and tell him to stop destruction of property, looting of goods in Nairobi, and destroying our economy. Call Raila Odinga and pray for him so that God can touch his heart to move away from the spirit of destruction and impunity. But we cannot. Hatuwezi sisi ati atuzie uoga. Ati wanasema ati mimi ndio nakataa. Mimi sikatai chochote. Ile mimi nasema ati mtu aharibu mali ya watu ati ndio tuketi. Inawezekana? Ati haribu mali ati ndio tumuite. Alifanya hivyo kwa Moi akaitwa. Akafanya hivyo kwa Kibaki akaitwa. Akafanya the same kwa Uhuru akaitwa. It will not happen again. Yeye akae kwake. Si yako na wajukuu. Akae huko. Tengeneze uji ya wimbi, kae na wajukuu. Angalie Family TV, afanye vile anataka. Lakini sisi kama tutakuwa na discussion na Raila ni sawa. Tungetaka tuwe na discussion na Raila na Uhuru pamoja. Watuambie ile pesa ya Kenya walipeleka Kenyans Island watarudisha lini? Hiyo tunaweza ongea. Watuambie wote wawili ile pesa Uhuru alisema ilipwe 15 billion in 26 minutes itarudishwa lini? Watuambie hii maziwa wanaleta nje ya powder wananua shilingi 10, wanaongeza maji wanatuzia 120, watawacha lini? That is a discussion we can have with Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. Mambo ati akuja tumgawie serikali nusu, that is not possible. It cannot happen, it will not happen. So wakisema sisi ni hardliner na akina Ichongwa, it's okay. Kama kusema ukweli na kusema hatuwezi nunua uoga ni kuwa hardliner, we are hardliners, it's okay. And there is no problem. Na andu marare thirikari ni Uhuru wa Kenyatta, PS urare horare munene muno na ni Mugikuyu. Ni urare hire njohi guku irari na ciana citu. Uhuru erore yekarite house akirite ugomera Raila dio ne kimararagia. Njohi yothe iraninire ciana citu ya Ibango. Irare hiru ni PS urare kurare na mwitio mwingi muno. Na ni nyingi muno ona twamurugamia kurehe iri arehete no irari na ciana citu. No Mugikuyu uga gutire burete kagate. Ketugie cira na atongoria aya. Ketucire na madidi maya. Ketucire na maucs. Ketugie na ona agreement ura tuguikarania. Mamenya ura tuguikarania. Na itua riria mundu ria kwenda guikara. Kone akwenda wira ahute. Okorwo ndakwenda areke atuhe kanya tucarie mundu wa kuruta. No tutingitikira na magavana eno tukaria nao nigetha turikanire ati metikire turehe na kada and license iyo ode ukomoranga utire kindu kingi aguthukia ona kimwe. Mare ni athukirie indo cia andu cia bilioni 2. Made ni oke tayari. Kwe mundu ena mana mugongo no ria wena akira nengere showe mutire kindu kia mundu aguthukia ringi.
Njuge mwena ucio uragwetwo muno na wa mundu ucio urarerio haha niguo ndari kana tiguo petiguo ndari na uria mwekire Ngai ni amuonire na tondu ni mwathuranire ni ndeugire asiyekubali kushindwa si na tondu ni ithe twaheanire instruments of power ne uru muno tungicoka tuge ati we do not recognize that there is a government of the day ko ni guthakira andu hakiri ni wega twetekire ati ni gwathuranirwo na ithurano icio ingi guka thutha wa miaka 5 kana tiguo when our officers are on duty ni tukurugama nao na njuge mundu ukwenda guthima andamano ambĩrĩirie na family yake na ciana ciake. Tũronire andũ marathi makehitha mũkawa-inĩ magacoka mageterera hĩndĩ ĩrĩa ciana iria ingĩ ciahũrwo na tear gas nĩguo maraumĩra, na maikĩrio maĩ o makehitha ngari-inĩ ciao ciĩna AC, arĩa angĩ magatigwo makĩhũrwo na mahiga.
Ithuĩ rita rĩrĩ nĩ ngwenda njuge here and mchana, andũ aya nĩ maandamane tiga hau KICC hau thĩ marandamanagĩra, nĩ methe ngathĩ mahaimbe KICC harĩa igũrũ, nĩ maandamanĩre hau. No rita rĩrĩ andũ arĩa marandiru nao nĩ ciana cia mau na nĩ andũ manyuire mũruci handũ ha Serelak. Gũtirĩ mũgate nuthu na gũtirĩ mĩario ya kũgayana thirikari. Andũ matĩye gatiba na mũndũ kura ciake ciaga kũigana.
We have heard our church leaders with respect call on all leaders to dialogue, and I want to confirm to the country that indeed those of us who have been elected as leaders are ready to dialogue on matters that pertain to the livelihoods of our people. If you want to dialogue with us on how to bring down the cost of living without blackmail, we are ready to dialogue. What we are not ready to dialogue on is how we will act in a manner that is outside our constitution and our statutes. For you to blackmail the country through anarchy so that you may safeguard your selfish ends. Ni lazima serikali ichukue hatua kuhakikisha maandamano yamezimwa, maandamano ya ghasia na fujo. Kama watu wanataka kuandamana deputy president, waambie OCS mahali wanataka kwenda kuandamana, masaa, na watapewa askari wa kuwasindikisha. One of the ways of bringing down the cost of living is to repatriate the billions you looted from our economy. Bring back the money you looted from our economy back into the economy, and this economy will begin the journey to restoration of what it ought to be. Tuliambiwa Pandora Papers, pesa ya Pandora Papers tutaambiwa baada ya wiki mbili. Imepita miaka 3, hatutajua bilioni karibu 30 imetolewa nchi hii, ilitengenezewa wapi na ilipelekwa nje kwa nini isistawishe uchumi wetu. We will ask those questions.
I want to send a very strong warning to those people. You are used to a currency of blackmailing Kenyans. After every election, you come pretending that the Constitution of Kenya is below you, is under you, that you are above the Constitution of Kenya. And you come here purporting like you have your own personal constitution which you operate on. Murienda kwa uchaguzi na mukajigamba kifua muko na deep state na ile ingine. Na Wakenya wakawaambia nyinyi na deep state, wakaonyesha njia ya kwenda nyumbani. Muandamane. You can go even picketing on top of KICC. But the president you are dealing with, the deputy president you are dealing with, this is a different kind of leaders. There will be no mkate nusu. There is no dialogue on how to share anything. The only thing to share is to the service to the people of Kenya, which you are already doing.
I am happy that the President of the Republic of Kenya has toned down his talk. He's not now confrontational. If you read his body language, if you look at the speech he delivered in State House during the swearing in of the Solicitor General, he has toned down. The problem with this country is emanating from one person called the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And to tell Rigathi Gachagua, stop chest thumping. After election, you unite the country. Raila Odinga has his own supporters. RUTO has his own supporters. Once you've won election, once the Supreme Court declared RUTO is the president, the first mission is Rigathi Gachagua to unite the country. Rigathi Gachagua is busy abusing Raila Odinga. You know you are annoying his supporters. Why can't you keep quiet? This country needs national healing and national reconciliation after the divisive general election. Raila has gone another notch higher because of the confrontational politics emanating from the deputy president. How can be a deputy president say, sasa huyu mtu tutamsukuma mpaka nyumbani? How will his supporters feel? What Raila has been doing is actually to feed his supporters on hope, on hope. Even if it were me, I'll feed my supporters on hope. We know Raila will not go to State House after all, unless we go and participate in the general election in 2027. But for now, there's no room. Legally, there is no room. Where is the room? Because the Supreme Court declared that the results were valid and RUTO was elected the president. Which other legal mechanism will Raila use to go to State House? Raila is reacting like this because of one person, regarding Gachagua. Tone down. Behave as a national leader. Don't behave like a bandit. His talk is worse than the behavior of a bandit. Be a leader. This country needs national conversation on the issue of the rising cost of living. We need a national conversation. And a national conversation has to be done through a dialogue with soberness. Our leaders must be sober. How do you talk about we're going to arrest Raila, we're going to arrest Uhuru? These people have their own supporters. You are dividing the country further. Raila is official opposition. Leave him alone. Look at the strategies on how we are going to work round the clock to have a national conversation on how to resolve the issue of high cost of living. Abuses will not solve. And eventually, I'm seeing the route back to ICC if these utterances will continue. Because you are knowing more people. There will be no violence. There will be no chaos. There will be no demonstration if we handle our issues carefully. Let's obey the church. The church has said, let's have a national conversation on how to sort out the problem of high cost of living in this country. Will abusing another leader solve that? Let's engage soberly. And I like the president, during the State House meeting, he talked soberly. And Gachagua, your role is a principal advisor to the president. If you are breathing fire, what do you want your boss to do? Your boss will take your advice. Let me breathe fire. And if anything goes wrong with this country, we'll start by those who are advocating for divisiveness in this country. If the high cost of living are biting Kenyans, we are all subject to that. And if we engage as leaders in showdowns, arrest so and so, deal with so and so, we shall deal with you, is that solving the problem of high cost of living? You're escalating the problem.